What is the stupidest thing you have ever heard out of someone's mouth? A woman I know adopted a baby from an Eastern European country. Someone who worked in our city's education system said, but when she grows up, how will you understand what she's saying?
Someone put their jacket right beside a stove and said, "Don't worry, it's waterproof."
London is the Paris of New York, said my friend after a few drinks. We never let him forget it.
I'm partially deaf. I've been partially deaf since I was 3 years old, and I've been slowly but surely getting more deaf. I had a manager tell me I needed to work harder to get over my hearing loss. There was genuinely no concept of hearing loss being permanent in some cases, and no amount of working harder would get rid of it.
I was in a Warby Parker one day and there was a married couple being waited on ahead of me. I'd guess they were both maybe 50. The sales guy was showing them a pair of transition lenses and the man just could not understand them. The sales guy tried to explain them. His wife tried to explain them. He just kept replying, "But I don't understand how they give you night vision." They brought him outside to show him how the lenses darken in sunlight so you don't need a separate pair of sunglasses, and he was like, "Oh. Okay, I get it now. But how does the night vision work?" After 20 minutes or so they gave up trying to explain to him that the glasses do not give you night vision.
I worked at a hippie crystal store in the mall. These girls come up and are looking at our amethyst cathedrals, big pretty chunks of amethyst. One reached out to touch it and her friend immediately held her back and pulled her away, yelling, "Don't touch that. It's asthmathist. Being around it gives you asthma!" Quote. She was genuinely upset. I stopped dead in my tracks when I heard that one.
Leaving the movie Titanic in 1997, I passed a person and overheard them say, "That movie was so unrealistic, no ship like that would sink." Legit hadn't heard of the sinking of the Titanic and thought the events in the movie were fiction.
You're not Asian, you're Chinese.
How do left-handed people drive? My sister, as she then proceeded to try and drive, left-footed.
I thought snow was just the dust that blows off mountains and rain was when the snow melted. 23-year-old in one of my uni classes.
What's chicken made out of? My dumbass of an older brother.
A roommate had to walk to work 2 kilometers in the sun. He asked me how he'd stop his head getting burnt, and asked me for advice on how to put sunscreen in his hair. I suggested a hat. He was floored, mouth dropped open, and thought it was a great solution. He told me I was so clever, woman shrugging, haha.
I was working midnights back in the 80s. It was almost dawn and a few of us were hanging out in the parking lot. Venus was blazing away in the pre-dawn sky. I pointed it out to my coworkers and how it was easy to find in the sky. Its positioning in relation to the sun when I got interrupted by one of the guys standing there. He was pretty adamant that the sun revolved around the earth.
Overhearing a conversation on a cruise deck between 2 people. "Look at how many stars there are out there. Yeah, they're actually pretty big too. If one crashed all the way in the water over there, it bet it would splash us over here."
I beep you not, I heard that the earth is hollow. And we live on the inside. When we look at the sky, we are looking into the middle of the earth, where are 3 spheres. Black body sphere is the biggest and it has dots on it. That's night. Sun and moon are smaller spheres. At night, sun is behind black sphere so it is dark. Also you can't see other parts of the earth just by looking up, because light does not travel in a straight line. It travels in a spiral. Edit, I didn't expect for this to blow this much. Thank you all. As a reward I was able to find some source. It's in Czech, but images should answer some of your questions. Edit 2. The spiral idea really ignited discussion, so I should clarify, after reading source above, it's not spiral, it's parabolic trajectory. I remembered it wrong.
Tampons have asbestos in them to make you bleed more, so you need to buy more of them. From a girl at a bar, roughly 2003-2004. I just laughed and said, "Where do you hear that?" On the internet. As this was the era of chain emails and non-facts floating around online. Not surprisingly, yes, she did read it online.
Gold isn't a metal because it isn't magnetic. While working on an aluminum engine that he fully accepted is metal.
It was a video with 2 people arguing and one of them roughly says, with full confidence, "Dog sperm can get me pregnant."
My Walgreens pharmacist just this morning that said he would sell my insulin but wouldn't sell my syringes. WTF am I supposed to do with a vial of insulin with no way to inject it?
I think being cryogenically frozen would be cool because you could see the future. I'd have to bring a space heater or a blanket or something though. I don't like being cold. Star basketball player in my high school health class.
Kansas isn't a real state. Ha ha ha, it was in The Wizard of Oz. In sophomore year of high school I heard this.
It's not the stupidest, but it's the most recent ones to mind. I'm a vet tech and was giving discharging instructions a dog after a neuter. Owner after dog neuter, so where are his stitches? Me oh between his legs. Him his front legs or back legs? Me, his back legs. Where do you keep your testicles, sir?
Is the President of the United States also the President of Canada?
One of my old friend asking in a serious voice traveling down to the beach house late at night, him looking out the window. So who changes the batteries on the side reflector post when they run out? Man shrugging.
If you're homeless, just buy a house.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Do you want a treat? I'm a good boy, Tim. You said it 5 minutes ago, and of course I want a treat.
My very diabetic friend had dangerously high blood sugar levels and was in the emergency room. When she was starting to feel better and expressed that she was hungry, the nurse brought her a white bread ham sandwich, banana and juice box. When my friend said, "I can't eat this, it's literally all sugar," the nurse looked her dead in the face and replied, "I don't know what you people can eat. Do you want an extra juice box?" I wouldn't have believed it if I wasn't in the same room.
I asked my student why she missed 5 weeks of class and she said while looking me dead in the eye that she had a nosebleed. Edit: this was a college student and I thought she dropped the class. She showed up to my office 24 hours before the final asking for extra credit but not having any of the work done. She did not make any prior attempt to contact me or the school about accommodations. I saw her regularly around the building and she was attended her other classes. To everyone claiming they someone know the whole situation and this is a disability issue, it may or may not have been. I'm not a doctor, and all she told me was she had a nosebleed. The lack of attendance or reason why wasn't the issue. The issue is the impossibility of a student making up 5 weeks worth of lectures, projects, homework in 24 hours and expecting me to figure that out for her at the drop of the hat. Pro tip: contact your professors if you're having any issues. They are literally there because they want you to learn. They will help, but you need to tell them you need help. There is a certain point, like 24 hours prior to the final, that no one can do anything.
Most likely no one that has seen a dinosaur is still alive. Bonus point because this was said while dragons, from GOT, were shown on TV. The idea was to point out that the TV show Game of Thrones was not real, since people who lived with the dinosaurs are, most likely, dead by now, and no one can be sure what a dragon looks like.
I'll be a virgin for the rest of my life. I want my children to be proud of me.
Australia doesn't exist, yeah, like Chris Hemsworth and Margot Robbie are from AskReddit. Makes more sense.
If you're not circumcised, you're gay.
If you untie your belly button, your bum falls off.
A K-pop stan once told me, "Bruh, stop stealing Korean culture and acting Korean, you beep racist. I am Korean."
My mom told me to lick my teeth regularly to straighten them out. I've spent about 6K and 2.5 years in Invisalign because she was convinced I could literally lick my teeth straight.
I once had to explain to a call center colleague that blood oranges are not like blood diamonds.
One of them isn't people in Africa called Australian people?
Humans aren't destroying the planet. The planet is trying to kill us, so we are fighting back. What?
The world isn't round, it's a ball.
Why do you have a picture Adolf Hitler on your shirt? Was a Beep Johnny Cash t-shirt. Johnny who?
Hey, you speak Brazil.
Do black people have black cum?
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to subscribe to Upvote for the best quality content every day.